Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And you're watching Dissecting Trek. So we are reviewing Justice, as Uncle Vernon would say it.
Justice! He's got like the squinty eyes and shit.
And at the end he's like, and now he's dead. Because he was morbidly obese. He's very dead.
Justice.
So yeah, the basic plot of this story is the Enterprise crew go down to like a fuck planet of carefree hippies.
Fuck planet.
That's basically the characteristics of these people is they wear skimpy outfits which look really horrible. They're all like white, good-looking Californian
Super
people.
athletic sort of people. Except for some of the guys, they're just fat.
all the women are smoking and then there's a few guys that are just like average.
Yeah.
They just cast hot chicks and when it comes to guys like
Guys, as long as they're not fat.
Yeah.
Give them like a Luke Skywalker haircut.
We don't care. Yeah, so they go down, these people have weird capital laws, and it kind of sets up this like moral conundrum idea discussion, which doesn't work, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Some more beautiful.
Yeah, so the original script for this episode, because it was rewritten, I think at breakneck speed, because it feels like it was rewritten at the last moment, was like a dystopian, planet of terrorists with crazy capital punishment laws, and the Enterprise crew goes down, and one of them actually gets executed. And then the idea is, what do we do now?
That's so much cooler.
That sounds amazing.
That would have been a great episode. I guess that's naturally what happens these days.
Yeah, that's the washing machine. Fucking shut up! There's a washing machine in my studio. Film this in my garage. So basically, yeah, that sounds like a really cool idea for an episode. But
It sounds like it could be a movie, actually.
yeah, it'd be really cool. But at like 3 a.m, coked out of his mind, presumably, Gene Roddenberry went in and rewrote it all because he thought it was too dark for his idealistic idea of the future.
So sick of
utopia.
Oh, it was too dark, let's rewrite it. Just fucking have one dark episode.
He really wanted everything to be perfect in the future. No one smoked, no one got angry.
But that... Having it be dark on that planet wouldn't ruin it because the Federation is dystopia and this is another world.
Humanity and the Federation have progressed to the next level.
It makes so much more sense than, oh, you tripped over some fucking plans, let's execute. Yeah, I'm gonna shit off though.
Yeah, so I think because of the last moment rewrites, and Gene, he was doing a lot of coke at this point in his life, and his health was deteriorating. He was having fits, and like. He was on his last legs, let's be honest. There are some horrible, internal inconsistencies with the laws of these people. So the basic idea is, there's no crime, because there's this area which randomly changes every day, I guess, that if you commit anything in there, you're sentenced to death.
Which makes no sense. So is it impossible for them to commit crimes anywhere else? If they commit crimes anywhere else, they not get put to death?
Well, yeah. Well, the idea is they'd be all so scared that they could do something and they'd be in the wrong area that they get put to death. But, as you just said, if they commit a crime and they're not in that area, they can get away with it. So it wouldn't make everyone...
It would be happening too.
It would create more crime. Like a psychopath would stab someone, nothing would happen. You'd be like, oh, the random punishment zone isn't here today. Looks like I'm going to go on a stabbing spree. And not get in trouble.
It could just be an escape from Monty Python.
Yeah, mate. You could do that and get away with it.
No person ever knows where or when a zone will be.
And so no one risks death.
Death?
By breaking any law.
Wait, explain this.
Only one punishment for any crime.
Anyone who commits any crime in the punishment zone dies?
The law is the law. Our peace is built on that.
You could, yeah, because all they're doing is fucking. They're just fucking, so you can just walk in and just start stabbing them while they're fucking.
So, like, the fucking thing was obviously added in by Roddenberry too, because we all know he was like horn dog, like, he idolized Kirk, and like, he kind of seen himself as Kirk, just
Which isn't a good
flying around, fucking alien women. Well, yeah, he's not Kirk. He's like a morbidly obese coke addict who is a pretty good writer at times.
We should start like a countdown of bloody how many times you gotta mention he's a coke addict. It's like I'm gonna get 3 now, maybe 4.
You did a lot of coke. I'm telling you, it's important for this review to know that Gene Roddenberry did coke.
But as I began writing that pilot, I suddenly realized that here was a chance to do the kind of drama I'd always dreamed of doing. I had seen science fiction movies before, but I'd always thought to myself, not enough characterization, not enough motivation.
So Wesley, he goes along for a ball and he trips into a flower bed and they're like, oh shit. And then these guards come immediately with like euthanasia needles to murder him.
Straight away, they're just carrying it on them.
Yeah.
And the kids are just like, they start saying to him as if he knows the laws. Oh, you shouldn't. What are you doing? Why would you just stop? He's like, I wasn't looking, which in my mind is fucking stupid, even as a kid.
It seems silly. He's like, but still. Like, yeah, there's no exceptions for the death penalty. It's just, it doesn't matter that they're visitors. It doesn't matter that they weren't told about it. It doesn't matter that no prior.
How should your ignorance of this let you get away with it? It's like, can't.
So yeah, they come with the euthanasia needles and they're going to put Wesley down for stepping on flowers.
But Riker fucking takes him down and then he just lays there for a bit.
Yeah, Riker just like palms him to the ground and goes like, oh shit, I've never been in a fight before because no one commits crimes here.
Yeah, so he's just a...
That's a little nap.
He's just a casual man.
Are you prepared for punishment?
Punishment? If you mean what the others were talking about.
What punishment? Name it.
Death, of course. Don't make it difficult for the boy.
Drop it.
Later on in the episode with like Picard and Data, it becomes like your typical examination of ideas, like the moral conundrum. What should we do? Should we save Wesley and violate the Prime Directive?
I like that. Like, once again, like you've mentioned in previous episodes, it's good that he actually doesn't just make decisions, he actually asks people for their opinions on the matter.
If this was SG-1, Colonel O'Neill would have mowed through all those people with his M16, got Wesley flown off. It would have been like a 10-minute episode. But it becomes the discussion. I feel like the discussion doesn't quite have as much impact as it should though, because it's obvious. It's like you can't let them kill a kid for stepping on flowers. We all know what should happen.
Yeah, but at the same time, speaking strictly from the Prime Directive point of view, that could be his life and line. Plus, he doesn't know how powerful that God entity thing is. So, like you said, should I really compel 1,000 people to die just to save this fucking irritating kid who should have died?
Yeah, so there's this spaceship in the sky which is like half phased into our reality and half phased into another reality.
Yeah, it's like transparent.
Yeah.
Spinning.
Yeah, and it acts as these people. What are they called? Because otherwise I'm just going to call them like the fuck hippies.
Not Odo.
No. The Edos.
That's close. Edo is Odo is another vowel.
Yeah. So the Edos, this ship, which is just a ship with people in it. But it's just phased half.
He does say that they're not necessarily... Oh, he does say it's multiple things, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not one entity. So it looks over these people, and I guess it came up with the law, and it's like letting them survive and build.
I think it was pretty cool, like the way that Data described it as it could have been a colony. They set that years upon years ago. That they're watching over.
Yeah.
Interesting idea, because that's exactly what they just did.
Yeah.
My sensors read it. Well, it's half there. It does look as if it were partly transparent.
Yeah, that's exactly, so it does become like we can't exactly bust Wesley out now because this god could destroy the Enterprise. They don't at any point try to like evade it or fight it. They just sit in space.
I do feel like in that situation it would be kind of stupid to fire on it.
Yeah, true. And we've already discussed that that's not really what Star Trek's about.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think there hasn't even been a battle yet, and it's like 6 episodes in.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think there's a real battle till like season 7.
Ever!
I know, like, I haven't gotten to Romulan Warbirds yet.
No.
That is like an awesome stalemate, and there's so much tension there. Anyway, we're not up to that review yet.
We'll get there.
I did see the blurb for the next episode. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to read that.
Which one's the next one?
Play Stargazer with the Ferengi.
Oh, the one after that is Q and Hyde too.
Oh.
We're getting to the good ones. We've just watched like 2 bad ones in a row. We're getting to the good ones. I promise this show's good. I promise.
One thing I noticed too was when Captain Picard was talking to Counselor Troi, and the doctor comes in to talk to Captain Picard, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, Counselor," and the Counselor stops, turns to Captain Picard and goes, "Dr. Crusher really wants to talk to you," like as if she's sensing it. As if it wasn't fucking obvious. Thank you, bitch.
Yeah, they're trying to like, I don't know, have a moment with her where she does something.
It just goes back to what we were saying before, how she never actually truly displays it, and she's just a con man bloody saying shit.
Even when they finally get Troi working later on, like, it's not because of...
By then she has a New Jerseyan accent.
Yeah, she just gives up on the weird alien thing. By nemesis, she's like, hey, like her, that's not New Jersey. New Jersey. Helena.
Walk in here.
Yeah, she stops acting. But yeah, even when they finally get Troi working, it's not because of her empath abilities. She never really does that in the team. She counsels, and she's just a character.
Counselor Troi. Like, you could base it on her being a counselor. She didn't even have to be an empath per se.
Well, no, because they never fucking used it. It never fucking worked. What do you sense? I don't know.
She's not even a full, like, she only gets the half feelings.
Yeah, she's like Spock, right? She's half Betazoid, half human.
Yeah, so she can sense emotions but not thoughts or some shit. Why not just get a full Betazoid? Because she really fills out that suit, I guess.
Yeah. Basically.
And what about bloody Yar? She was horny as hell.
She was. So there's a line.
She's like, I do sense happiness, and like turns to her and does this after the
yeah, and there's a line where Geordie says they fuck at the drop of a hat, and she's like, any hat.
They're wild in some ways, actually puritanical in others. Neat as pins, ultra lawful. They make love at the drop of a hat.
Any hat.
Not to mention she's already fucked Data at this point.
Yeah, and the thing with her, right, is she lived on a planet with roaming rape gangs.
Yeah, that was the thing, like, legitimately.
Yeah, so it'd make more sense character-wise if, like, she was really apprehensive towards, like, love and affection and just open sex.
But she just seems to love it.
Well, I just guess Gene, just in his coke rage, like, he wasn't thinking about that.
Rage.
Yeah, he was just, like, writing the script, like masturbating on the desk, and, like, we're all fucking.
Like that guy in the YouTube video with the alien video.
Yeah, they just get the script and it's like just hardcore pornography and it's just like a description of Riker banging chicks and like, we can't put this on television, Mr. Roddenberry. Like, you better make it happen. Grab someone's ass. Good job, sugar tits. Mr. Roddenberry, you're a monster. You know it, babe. You're a monster.
Like the little gingerbread man in Shrek. Man, we're painting him out to be this beast.
I mean,
he did create like one of the greatest sci-fi series of all time.
He did.
The greatest sci-fi series of all time.
You could say that?
It's definitely up there.
It's in like, if we're counting just television, not literature, it's like, yeah, it's number 1, I guess.
That and Stargate.
Yeah, Doctor Who could have been better than it, but it's just hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss, hit and miss. Good, bad, good, bad, good, bad,
Then
good,
again,
bad.
we've had 2 bads. So,
That's true. It's just stumbling now. It's
just the early days. It always is.
I don't know what the show is. A funny line in this episode from Worf, right? It's like, you're gonna indulge in these bitches? Wolf's like, I cannot have sex with a human female. I would break her or something.
Like that Bane on Batman.
Yeah. He's a fucking animal, I guess.
Yeah, he would.
As a monster.
He still hugs that chick in general.
Yeah,
He enjoys it.
Yeah, I like this plan.
He does the...
Yeah.
Nice planet.
Yeah, it takes Worf a while to get some character because he was just tacked on in the last moments. A lot of the earlier scripts don't have much for him to do.
Yeah, he's literally nothing to me at the moment. The only reason I love his character is because I know Worf later.
Yeah, he goes.
He is one of my favourite. I mean, he's in 2 separate Star Trek series.
He probably has the most screen time out of any Star Trek character. Easily.
Yeah, plus he's in the movies too.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Worf.
And he was even in one of the original series movies, but it's just not as Worf.
Oh yeah, he played a different Klingon. He was going to be in Discovery too, but they wouldn't pay him enough, so they said, fuck you.
Good, I'm glad he didn't blacken his name.
Speaking of STDs, surely like this planet would just be horribly infested with STDs. You could say, well, they're aliens. Maybe they don't have STDs, but they're fucking so humanoid. They look exactly like it. They didn't even put a little thing on their forehead.
Well, the Stranger Things have the same reproductive organs too, because Lycus clearly fucked some bitches down there.
Oh yeah.
Before he went back up and reported, he was knee deep in pussy.
Joy and happiness.
Also film this episode at a water recycling plant that they also film all of the Starfleet locations at. And once you know that and go back and watch it, all I can think of is Starfleet. All like the fountains and the stone and stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I didn't see it.
It tells you in the special features. Like this road film Starfleet, some water recycling plant. Also that episode with the fuck planet. Then you go back and it's like, why are they at Starfleet?
Good health to you. Happiness to you. It's like an Eden here.
There's a good episode here. There was a good episode here before somebody fucked it up. There's good ideas here, but they're not fleshed out, and there's no real depth to the episode.
Well, like you said, it's because it was rushed. Same with Rogue One and Solo.
We'll get to them.
Exactly the same thing happened.
We already got to Solo.
Oh, we did, didn't we? I forgot we even reviewed that.
I forgot I even watched that movie.
Yeah, me too.
I actually felt like watching Star Wars the other night, and I was like, which one should I watch? And I just watched them all like a million times. I'm like, I've only seen Solo twice, I should watch that. Nah.
Why did you didn't think of Rogue One?
Oh, I don't know.
That's the reaction says it all. You could have gone Last Jedi.
Fuck that. I'm going to rewatch it before episode 9, but I don't want to rewatch it now. I didn't even buy it. I seen the Steelbook at JB the other day, like a year and a half after it come out. It was $19, just the normal Blu-ray was $20. They just can't flog the Steelbook limited edition.
I got one. That was only because I got the Force Awakens one, and if episode 9 is good, episode 9, yeah, if episode 9 is good, then I'll have the collection.
Yeah. I thought about it, I'm like, it's $19. I spend more on that for lunch sometimes, and then I was like,
spend more than that on alcohol.
I mean, I'd rather get a 6-pack of Ark Valley. This episode is brought to you
Actually, that's not $12. Not even $19.
Way cheaper.
You can get that cheaper than The Last Jedi and more enjoyment out of it.
And I think it's just because the attitude of tossing on the go worked really well. So it's still keeping that kind of like.
Well, see, again, I mean, and I told Brian this, it's no surprise. I said, I just fundamentally disagree with your concept of this character and how you use him.
The conclusion is very rushed. They go down to get Wesley. They try to teleport back up to the ship, and the god doesn't let them. And then Picard, he says 2 lines, which is something along the lines of, if law is always cemented, then justice
cannot be served or something.
Yeah, and then the antagonist is like, yeah, you're right. And then lets them beam up and the credits roll.
Yeah, and that's sort of hard to do, because before, when they're holding Wesley prisoner, all the half-naked people were on their side, And they're all like, this is wrong,
Yeah, well,
this is wrong. And then as soon as they're going to take away, they're like, you can't do that.
Yeah, well, there's a point even where like one of them says like, you go and get Wesley and get him out and we'll just say you took him. But then they start talking about the Prime Directive.
It's the same guy too, like, he says it. Like,
yeah, it's like inconsistencies within the internal structure of the narrative. And like we talked about the Prime Directive and how it's a bit shady here, the idea of it when it gets fleshed out later is not to interfere with races before they've come up with warp speed. But like they come down, they fuck them, they interfere. Like these people don't have warp engines. Yeah, I mean that they interfere. They take one of them up onto the Enterprise and show her what she thinks is God, and freak her out and fuck her up. They interfere the fuck out of them, literally.
I'm sorry, Reva, but this was necessary. Do you know what that is?
And then they're like, oh no, we can't take Wesley, the Prime Directive.
Yeah, you're right, that's what it says. Plus, they're not even a warp-faring society.
No, they're just going down and fucking them and showing them God and just like wrecking their society.
Yeah, to be fair, it was originally just supposed to be a bit of vacation.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be this dilemma.
Yeah, and I feel
Wesley down.
I feel like the idea of what the Prime Directive hasn't been set in stone yet. Because in what was the episode where Yar fights that Yar, where's my pop? The joke's already gone. Like episode 3, they say something about the Prime Directive.
That stupid arena.
Yeah, they what was it called? Code of Honor. They say something about the Prime Directive there, and it's like, that's not the Prime Directive. So they haven't like gotten in stone what it is.
Oh my.
They haven't quite. Prime Directive isn't the Prime Directive yet. They're figuring it out, I guess.
I mean, it's newly brought into the show. He said he probably just thought, I want an important rule they have to follow, and then he's changing it until he decides what's right. The idea is not to interfere with the way their culture works at this point, I'm guessing. But it has nothing to do with
more vague
and just rooting the shit out of their entire race.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like developing warp speed and no interference.
I even felt there was a little bit too much sexual tension for like Wesley and that girl.
There were a lot of like, I don't know what I would consider to be like awkward, like, 2000s teenager joking moments with him.
I want to do something too, with you.
What?
It's something you can teach me, will you?
Well, actually, there are some games I don't quite know yet.
It's playing ball. Will you teach me?
Oh, sure.
But it's weird because like they all come up and they talk about how like it's a crazy liberal hippie planet but they're all having sex, and then Picard's like, yeah, Wesley, you go down there.
Yeah,
get out.
It was funny the way the chick who was like hugging everyone up and she's like,
yeah, and then she's like, should we fuck on the ground right here? And everyone's like, yeah. And then Wesley's like, oh, what will I do?
I guess I'll just go ahead then. Oh, yeah, see you later, mate. That's what I would have said.
We can discuss it at the council chambers.
Shall we go there now or remain and play?
Play?
I'd love. Unless you don't enjoy that.
They're like in their uniforms and like on hours, they're getting paid and shit. I guess they kind of always.
It's vacation day though, isn't
That's true. Yeah, they're scouting it for some sure.
No, because they already scouted. That was when they came back down.
Yeah.
People they'd already met. So at that point, they're in full
holiday mode.
Fucking. Oh.
Is that Worf's one?
It's got to be Worf.
Yeah. Did you reckon his ribs like his forehead?
I made that same joke today when I was watching it.
I reckon it is.
I mean, she wants to see his ridges.
Your wife is just like, disgusting.
I think she pretends to laugh at my terrible jokes.
Yeah.
And then dies a little inside. It's funny because she'll be watching.
What about plain old basic sex? You must have some need for that. Of course. But with the females available to me, sir, Earth females, I must restrain myself too much. They are quite fragile, sir.
So yeah, basically, in conclusion, I think this would have been a really good episode to like examine the idea of capital punishment and the Prime Directive and when not to interfere with the culture. But Gene Roddenberry like blazed in a coke-addled rage and rewrote it. Yeah, and I feel like it wasn't.
Just throwing pages off the table.
Yeah. It feels all very surface level. There's not a lot of thought put into it. Like the idea that there's no crime because of capital punishment. It works on the surface, but then you think about it for a little bit. It's like, no, that wouldn't stop crime. There'd be more crime, if anything.
Exactly.
And everything is like
crime, you know? You're never going to stop petty crime.
Yeah, like the moral conundrum of should we interfere is like, well, of course you should. You can't let a kid get put to death for stepping on some fucking flowers.
Not even blood. He's still a minor too. Like.
Yeah, I mean, he made a mistake. Don't put him down like a fucking dead dog.
How would there be any adults in that world?
Yeah, well, I mean,
kids fuck up all the time.
Well, yeah. What if like a 2-year-old accidentally stumbled in there and landed on the flowers? Like, you just go and put the 2-year-old there?
And the guy makes out like Riker's a cunt because he's like, oh, you told him what he was.
Yeah, it's like no.
And then Ray's like, wait a second, did he just want to fucking kill me?
And yeah, it's like obviously you people are wrong. That's stupid. Your law doesn't work or make sense. It would infuriate people and like make an uprising and a rebellion. Mm-hmm. Surely.
It didn't even like go too much into like how their past was so bad and everything. They didn't even attempt to explain anything about what their past was like. It's just petty, poor writing.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, season 1, Next Gen, kind of hit and miss at this point. I think the next 2 episodes are going to be better, hopefully.
It gets better, guys.
Yeah.
The next episode's definitely good.
Yeah.
I think the next 2, like you said, is a Q1 after that.
I believe it is.
Well, the next one's definitely good. A lot of like mind games and shit. A lot of good at Patrick Stewart acting.
That's what we want.
If it's the one, I think
we want more Picard.
Yeah, we do.
Alright, yeah, watching. Like that? No, it's good. Hit that bell.
Hit that subscribe, hit that like, and let Alex's channel go where. Boldly go where.
No channel has
gone.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. The touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at home. Oh, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Burning out his fuse out here alone. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be long, long